Mr. DJ Rose, Verteezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
More Black Tears, we back in the building. We got Juice Man.
Hey,
We got Nicole.
What's up?
We got Verteezy.
hey, what's up?
And you know it's me, Mr. DJ Rose, man. We do it for our people and we do it for the people, man. Verteezy, man, what we talking about today?
Yeah, man. So, a lot of times we talk about parenting and, raising kids. So recently there was 3 different situations. Boosie was on a podcast with Jason, Jason Lee. And on the podcast, he was saying he drug tested his sons because he wanted to make sure they don't smoke weed. And Jason Lee was like, but you smoke weed, Boosie. You smoked weed when you was 12, 13. And he said, yeah, I don't want them to be like me. Nah, they can't get high because smoking weed leads to this and it leads to this and it leads to that. And then within the same, day on the Joe Budden podcast, they started talking about basically, yo, would you allow your daughter to get a hotel room on prom night to have sex or whatever? And half the crew was like, nah. Then the other half of the crew, especially Joe, was like, man, nah, I think that, I don't have daughters, but I feel like we need to be there for each step of the process. Yeah, I'm gonna be there every step of the way for them early moments. And then on the last podcast, there was a dude who basically said, and I'm making my kids play sports. I don't care. Like, once they turn 18, they can do what they want to do. But, while they're kids or whatever, I'm going to make them play sports so they just ain't home not doing nothing. Let's just start off with what Boosie was saying, because there was people online that felt like that might be hypocritical as a parent. You was doing all this stuff as a kid, and now you basically trying to say your kids can't smoke weed. Rose, Juice Man, I see that your face is scrounged up. What's your thoughts on what Boosie was saying?
I was always taught do what I say, and not as I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm grown, you a child. You know what I'm saying? I can't see me allowing my child to smoke if they're not of age. Once they get of age, if you want to smoke, cool. But if they're underage, nah, they can't smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, that leads to trouble. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you say, about the gateway, I hear it, but it's more that it's the law, man. Like, we need to follow the law. You need to be upstanding citizen. You need to be doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It's more ethics than anything to me with that situation.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I will say this. I ain't gonna say it's hypocritical. I will say for you to promote that behavior in your music, for you to go on podcasts and lives and promote that debauchery, and then say, oh, but I don't want my kids to do it, but you're promoting it to other people's kids. I do kind of see the hypocrisy in that shit, Juice Man, to be honest.
True.
True.
That's when it becomes hypocritical. But we're not talking about another person. We're talking about his kids.
Yeah, no. I feel you. Like, these is his kids, so he should be concerned about, like, his son's well-being and his sons, like, growing up to be good citizens and stuff like that. But I will say this, like, even with the phrase, do as I say, don't do as I do, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I grew up in a church where my pastor, he would tell the adults, nah, kids, watch what you do. Don't just tell them stuff. You need to be living this. So don't just tell them the gospel. You need to be living the gospel in your home. So I feel like that's another thing that, especially in the Black community, we got to kind of get away from. We can't feel like it's okay just to tell kids what the right thing is. We should be living the right thing as best as we can. Nobody's perfect now. but we should be doing our best to be trying to live the right thing. And when we talk about our past transgressions, we should talk about it in a way from a learning experience and not like we're promoting it.
Right.
Like, yeah, man, when I was your age, I used to get high all the time. That's all I did when I was 14. Go in the corner to your uncle's house, you know, or to your cousin, your older man, we smoke weed all day long. Like, you shouldn't be like promoting it like it was fun, you know, to your kids, because then they like, okay, cool. And then you tell them, but I don't want you to smoke. I don't want you to smoke though. But just because I did it when I was 14, you don't need to do it. Hold up now. You just told me all the fun you and my uncle and my older cousin had doing it, but now you telling me I can't do it.
You got to be careful with your words.
It's definitely in the wording, but it's also in the sincerity because he worded it the way he felt it. You got to pay attention to these people on social media though. Like, these kids already embody that behavior. That's how they carry themselves. That's what they live around. So that's where the hypocrisy comes in, is because your kids are not going to show you something that they're not seeing. Your kids are mirrors. They walk around, they copy every single thing you do. Listen, I be with these little mentors, right? And you see their behaviors that their parents have, but like in a childlike version of them. And it's cool because sometimes I'm like, I bet your mom was just like that when you were younger. Like, they have that already in them, but they see it because they watch you, right? Sometimes you'll be like, well, I don't know where you get that from. They get it from somebody, but whomever they get it from, they're sponges. So it is hypocritical. And I'm a Bootsy fan. And I like Bootsy music, but I'm also adult and mature enough to realize just because I like the music don't mean I'm going to go out and do these things. His kids live the way he rap about. So I don't see where he don't already see that happening, to be able to put stipulations in an environment that you keep them in. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Boosie is probably not the person that needs to be given parenting advice to.
Right.
Because he's what he said, when I was 9, I got my dick sucked by a crackhead, and when my sons turned 11 or 9
I was
or
just
10,
saying that too. He said that too, that he paid for his sons to get their dick sucked.
Yeah, so it's like.
But then you don't want them to smoke. I don't understand. That don't make.
But they can lose their virginity.
And he smoked. And then the thing about it, like, you smoke around. Like, if you don't want your kids to do certain things, you probably shouldn't do it around them. You can still do it, but you probably shouldn't do it around them. I talk about it all the time when I was younger, and I used to smoke cigarettes and smoke. I never did it around my kids once they got into that kindergarten, because they was like, they learned like, hey, that kills you. And like, no, I don't want you to die, Dad. So I never did it around them again until they was of age where they knew what like 16, 15, you know what I'm saying, 17, 18, you know what I'm saying?
Understanding.
Yeah, so it's like that's the thing about, like, with Boosie, he's on TV smoke, that's all he does is smoke.
And he got older kids. We're not mentioning the older siblings that are already outside of his household smoking, making music videos, smoking. Like, you got older kids that are already doing it. So what group of kids are you talking about? You talking about these babies? Like,
yeah,
these
talking about
babies
his younger kids.
These babies ain't even thinking about that right now. You making contracts for babies while you already got at least 4 of the kids already outgrown adults smoking around their siblings. I don't understand what we talking about.
I think that part is very important right there, because you got you got some teenagers, but then you got kids that's in their 20s and shit. And so what? Do the kids in their 20s not stop smoking weed when their little siblings around? Do they be like, oh, well, my dad don't want them smoking weed, so I'm not gonna smoke weed around them?
They just don't do it in the big house.
Yeah,
they do it in the other houses.
You know
what I'm saying? Because they all got houses on the land, so it's like, you can't do it in this house, but they do it in the other house. But all you gotta do is ride the 4-wheeler down there, but you just can't.
Peace.
And you just can't do it over here. You know what I'm saying? But when you come back to this house, you gotta take a piss test. So what happens when the piss test come back positive? What you gonna do? Yeah. Boosie, what you do, Boosie, after that?
And it reminded me of a bit that Dave Chappelle did a couple years ago in one of his trio Netflix specials that he did at the time. And he said that he was on the road, came home from being on the road, went in his kid's drawer and found some weed and rolling papers and smoked his kid's weed. And he said, I felt sad. And he said, I wasn't mad at my son, because all I do is talk about smoking weed. But if I felt like there was an innocence that was lost. And I can understand that from a parental standpoint. Like, yeah, there's an innocence that might be lost because now your son or daughter is smoking weed. But at the same time, you do have to understand.
Whose innocence?
If the child is already doing that, there is no innocence there anymore.
The parents'
innocence.
The parents' innocence of the
How
the
they
view.
baby
How they view
right.
them.
Yeah.
So that's important too.
But he also expressed he understood, yo, I'll be a hypocrite. I smoke weed. I promote smoking weed in my stand-up bits. I have movies talking about smoking weed. What I look like telling my kids, like punishing my son for smoking weed and being like, that's an issue. And I feel like that's something that a lot of times we don't really talk about in this part of the process. What Boosie was discussing is we're not even trying to hold ourselves to a certain standard. Like it's different. Like if you have a kid, I'm overweight, for example, and I'm like, you know what? I see my kids getting overweight. Hey, son, we're gonna work out together. We're gonna stop eating fast food together. We're gonna have a better life together. Instead of me just saying, yeah, I'm eating this double whopper of cheese and these onion rings and this chocolate milkshake, but you need to eat that salad because I don't want you to be fat like me. Heart disease and high blood cholesterol and all that running our family. So I don't want you to have to deal with the stuff I'm dealing with. Like, yeah, he gonna hear that shit, but then he gonna look at me like, but that fat motherfucker still eating a double cheeseburger. Like, so with the joke, with what Joe was saying, did anybody have any thoughts on that? Like when he was saying about guiding his kids through the sexual process, especially for the pod being girl and boys.
And I understand where he was coming from. It just, there's no way you're gonna ever be able to deliver that message. There are parents that feel that way. Like, I'm not that they judging based off of how their life went, but they also don't want to be so much of a helicopter parent at that age where you just destroy their memories as if you don't have those same memories. What about my memories? I actually had a really regular prom night. I didn't do anything crazy. I think we assumed the most out of some of our kids. I don't think that was worded, that question was worded raggedy as hell to say that somebody would buy a hotel for their child to have sex in. That's not the way it should have been worded to begin with. It should have been a hotel room. Am I gonna get my senior a hotel room on prom night? Yeah. I'm not assuming that they're getting a hotel room to sleep with somebody. What if her and the rest of her family? Yeah. And if they do, then that's her experience. But I'm not purchasing a room for her to go do this stuff. I don't. It's like we said earlier. It's how you say stuff. It's crazy.
And there was a second part.
The way they worded it, that's absolutely not.
What about just the sexual experience of your child too? That was the other part. Like there was a lot of men who would promote sexuality for their sons, but then be like, I got a daughter and I want them to stay a virgin till they married. Correct. That was the second part of this conversation. And Joe was like, I ain't with that too.
Yeah, right. and think about it, it's easy for Joe to say that because he don't have any daughters.
Right.
So it's like so and then he also has, it's his show, he doesn't have any daughters and he doesn't plan on having any more kids either. Correct. So it's like so he can stand on this mountain and spew at his coworkers, but his coworkers, some of the stuff they were saying was hypocrisy too though. So but
and some because of them have daughters.
And it's like, but my thing, I went to the prom. When did prom come to a place where you gotta have sex?
And I ain't gonna lie, I watched a lot of 80s and 90s high school movies.
They always have
everyone I saw,
like American Pie.
It seemed like you lost your virginity on prom.
On TV, yes, but in real life.
But what is that generation watching? And what perception are they believing that that's normal for prom night? That's where Joe's speaking from.
But when I was in high school, that wasn't something.
It was probably like one or two people that got a hotel room. No, and the hotel room was for a party. We ain't
right. We partied. Well, I think I saw and heard of mixed company of different versions of that. But no, my crew of people, we were just looking for the party. We wanted to stay out late. We wanted to be with everybody and hang out. You know. Yeah.
And I ended my prom night at a Waffle House. Like as far as the prom conversation part of it, I mean, y'all can continue that part. I'm just more fascinated in the aspect of what Joe was saying, like Joe and the other podcast mates about. Okay, my son, it's these rules for my son, these rules for my daughter,
and that's the thing, like, because they all sounded dumb when they were talking, because it's like, because the guys was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do this for my daughter, but I would do this for my son. And it's like, what kind of sense does that make? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
And I ain't gonna lie, I've never thought that was okay. I've never thought it was okay to be like, well, I got a son, so it's okay that he fucked 5 bitches, but I got a daughter, and if I find out that she fuck her boyfriend, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Because the thing about it is, your son is effing somebody else's daughter.
Exactly.
So
that's how I've always looked at it. I've always looked at it like that.
It's always been a double standard, though. I don't know why it's been there so long. It's always been there, though.
But if
it's
you
a double
but
standard.
you need to admit, if it's going to be a double standard, I say this. I respect Flip. Flip said straight up, it's a double standard, and I believe in double standards.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be one of these pussy ass niggas saying, no, it's not a double standard. No. Admit your bias and your double standards if that's what it is. Because me, I kind of feel Joe in that part. Like, I had this conversation with MGH. Man, if I have kids, if I have a daughter, yo, man, when she gets to the age where she can start having kids, and man, we need to start talking about birth control. And I'm not even going to be like, yo, this means you can have sex. We'll have that conversation. Hopefully I'm with a woman where she can have that conversation with her. But no, I don't know what you're going to do when I'm not home.
There's another conversation that's starting, though. There was a video I saw the other day where this podcaster guy was talking about him and a bunch of mixed group of friends, straight guys, straight women, gay women, but just a bunch of mixed company. They were talking about why isn't it not also a conversation for male contraceptives at the point of time we are in now? Yeah. And it don't have to look like women stuff. It could be how it would be for a man. Maybe y'all went and got a shot. I would rather get a shot for contraceptives than get a shot for VD.
Yeah, I mean they trying to work on that kind of stuff to create that.
So that the conversation is equal and fair, and not just one sided. I think that's what makes it always so stereotypical because it's always one sided.
Yeah,
it's the woman's responsibility. She's supposed to be protected.
It's both people's responsibility.
It should be,
because if I have a son, hey, once my son gets to the point where I think he can start having sex, yo, you need to get condoms. Whether you use them or not, that's a whole different story. I would rather you not use them. But I'd rather you have them and not need it than need it and not have it. Right. And that's the same with my daughter. Like, I'd rather you be on this birth control and be a virgin when you get married than I did not do the due diligence to put you on it. And you out here doing all kind of stuff while I'm at work, your mama at work. Yeah. And now we having a conversation at midnight that you pregnant by some nigga that we ain't never met.
Yeah,
like
no, you definitely
all that is important.
Listen, I don't have any children yet, but again, this is a mentor. I'm telling you what the girlies be telling me. When I say the girlies, I mean my little teen friends. Hey, girls. But what they tell me is they want to have those conversations with their parents. I'd rather have that conversation with someone I'm supposed to trust than to go have it with some dumb nut that don't know what they talking about, like on Grease. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all knew they used to make us watch Grease all the time in school. On Grease, that was the problem. She going to her friends. Them girls don't know what they talking about. Now you pregnant and then don't nobody know what to say to you. Don't nobody know what to do. Now you all hurt. I don't even want to go through that.
Because most parents' typical response when these conversations come up is abstinence.
Right. But
and it's like that's cool to say, but we also have to live in the reality
world, right?
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you what I did with my daughter, and I don't know how this is going, but I preached the abstinence. But the main thing was I hit her with the jewel, and the gem was just tell everybody you ain't fucking off top. This is the test. I don't care who it is. You ain't fucking.
That's fucking brilliant.
Type stuff.
Type shit.
That's some smart shit.
And then you go off the response.
With a button that beep, beep, beep. Ladies.
That's how you know.
Ladies.
How much this nigga's fucking with you.
Ladies.
Because the nigga be like, okay, you ain't fucking cool. Hold on to him. That might be a good friend.
They don't be listening. They not gonna
listen. That might be a good friend.
They not gonna do it.
Okay.
They not. That's the smartest advice somebody can give. They're not gonna do it.
Some will. That's the friend.
We are a very small breed of a population. Don't tell nobody.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta test them. That's the test.
That's crazy.
So what if he say, all right, cool, but don't be asking me to send you no money then?
Like that nigga.
Nigga, I'm a bald-headed father, nigga. What the fuck? Baby girl, right?
Bald-headed father with a beard.
We ain't gonna, what? With a beard. Oh, we ain't gonna talk about, bro.
I'll just ask. I had to put
how
that out there.
Teenagers gonna try to come with my daughter like that? Come on now.
I just had to put that out there.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to break. What? Come on, man. Come on, man.
It's getting scary out here having to talk about these kids and their parents.
Yeah, like, but it's just like that's the test. So if a dude like, well, shit, all right, fuck it, I don't want to talk to you no more. He wasn't meant for you.
I agree with that part.
Yeah, that's an
He
easy.
ain't
That
shit.
nigga really wasn't for you.
But a dude that say he'll wait, you gotta watch him. But also, he might be a good friend.
It's still a 50-50, but he might be good.
Just how long
Or he might just be laying in the cut. He might just be laying in the cut.
And then you just watch him. You
and
gotta
what,
watch
and
him.
what does his weight look like?
Yeah, hey,
How he
some
act when he
niggas wait 10 years.
Yeah, you gotta watch him.
Hey man, hey, stories of niggas who would have been in that friend zone for 10 years.
You crazy.
And they hit that Diz of a training day like, I got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I waited 10 years.
Right.
I got him.
Yeah, and like you said, that 10 years, they might do right. Now, I told my daughter this. Okay, now after you let him hit, what he gonna do? He two things he might do to you after you do this shit to him now.
Stay around or leave.
He either gonna stay with you or leave. And then when that happen, then you know the nigga wasn't shit.
Or the nigga might be like James Pierce and go so crazy because you put it on him when he starts stalking you.
Yeah. Talking about James Pierce though. What about the sports topic with the parents?
Hey man, so yeah, what's y'all thoughts on that father who said, "Hey man, I'm gonna make my kids play sports"? Because in my head, I worded the way I worded it, not just sports, like extracurriculars too. I actually kind of fucked with what he said, man, because
It sounds
I feel like you should not just allow your kids just to go to school and just be at home and do nothing. Like you should be like, hey, play a sport, join band, join a debate team, do Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, like have some type of one, if you got aspirations to go to college anyway, man, all that looks good in their resume. Two, as you become an adult, you got to learn how to multitask. Like you got to learn how to do multiple things at the same time. And then three, you got to develop other skills and meet other people and network. And sometimes this how I look at it. My brother, wasn't going to play football originally, and then my mom made him my freshman year, and he ended up playing all 4 years. And then football season comes before baseball season. So because he had already tried out for football, we didn't play sports in middle school. He felt confident to try for the baseball team, which he is naturally more gifted at. So he had more success playing baseball. You might have kids that might need you to push them. They might not naturally be confident, in certain stuff. Like they might be like, you know what, I kind of want to go for the basketball team, but I don't want to fail. They might need you as their parent to be like, nah, fuck that. Don't worry about failing. I'm gonna make you try for the basketball team, and I'm gonna make you do this or whatever. And then they might need that inside. So I kind of look at it from that aspect too.
My thing is like lots of, especially like black kids, lots of them don't have fathers in their life, and then if they're not in sports, let me back it up. Lots of women say lots of men have feminine ways.
Mm-hmm. They do.
And exactly, because they be around their mom. Lots of they don't have fathers in their life, so they be around their mama, and then they don't run into a male figure or until later on, and then most of those male figures are authoritative to them.
True.
But if they're involved in sports, then they learn things. They be around men because women aren't teaching men sports.
I'm picking up what you're dropping,
and so that helps them along the way to also figure out like it's not always gonna get your way. Because lots of time when women are raising men, they always give. Let's say if they got a man, a daughter and a son, the son's gonna get it easier than the daughter will.
Facts.
And the son, if a woman is raising him and he's not been around a lot of males because there's in elementary school and preschool, not a lot of male teachers.
Nope.
Middle school, there might be some, but it's not a lot.
Not as many.
Usually you're not going to run into it until high school.
Yeah.
And those are going to be coaches, most likely. But there are some other teachers too, but most of the ones that go to give you the pushback are going to be the athletic people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not playing, then you're not learning. You're not learning, no pushback, because your mom's gonna give you everything you want. So when you get into high school, either it's gonna be a police officer, or it's gonna be a principal. It's gonna be a teacher. It could be anybody, somebody, or you could be working at a job, a manager.
Mm-hmm.
You need
And
a village.
and
You gotta have
now
a village.
and now it's like, oh,
You can't talk to me.
you can't talk to me like that. What you?
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
We don't trust the village no more. We leave in our ancestral ways and start doing this European stuff. We don't trust the village, so we don't want nobody disciplining our kids.
So
Or we
the
didn't.
sports is going to put that already out there. It's going to, you go to be around this male figure, even if you don't have a dad in the house. You got to be around a male figure telling you, no, you wrong. You did this wrong. You did this wrong. You need to do it this way. You need to do it. It's gonna be some conflict. It's gonna be some. It's gonna be some pushback. It's not gonna just be like, oh, you mama little boy. No, it's not always that. So it's like, so if you're not in that, especially if you're a single parent, and your son's gonna grow up have a lot of feminine traits, and he can still be straight, but he's gonna have a lot of feminine traits. And when I say by that is being soft, don't take
being sensitive.
Being sensitive. Don't take redirection well.
Criticism,
nerves, all that kind of stuff. So
because when you play sports, and I say this as someone who played football, 4 years of high school, and I don't care how good you are, you're gonna be criticized your whole time playing.
We trying to get my goddaughter to understand that now. Trying to be mindful of how I said this. So my godbaby is running track. She's at her state track meet right now, actually. And she's 10. So, she's at the early ages of that student athlete who likes it. She likes to win. She likes to compete. She don't like losing, and she don't do well with pressure. Her parents right now are trying to figure out the balance on between when to be coach and when to be parents. But it's hard because at some point, one parent may be like, well, we just got to nurture her process. And then you got another parent that's like, nah, she need to get her stuff together. Like, I'm tired of signing you up for this. And then as soon as you get out here, you want to cry, you want to be upset. Like, you need the coach. It takes me going to her practices and watching her coach really be the one to have to say, you need to step it up or you need to do better. You being able to say the thing that it don't matter. I tell parents all the time, y'all kids, they hear what y'all saying. Sometimes it takes somebody else to say the same exact thing to them, but from a different perspective, because it's like they have gotten to a point where they know when to tune y'all out. And sometimes they tune y'all out when y'all need to be listening. So it happens like that. You need a coach. You need mentorship. And I don't know why we are turning into the type of people that tell somebody, I don't want you saying nothing to my child. You bet not say nothing. You even watch them when they do the little shows on TV. They get mad at the coach. Like, the coach is trying to help your child out. Like, back off.
I hear what you're saying. And I want to agree 100%.
You're going to be a parent, though.
No. I'm not going to be a parent. I hear what you're saying. But sometimes it's just got to get it to a point that they gotta lock in themselves. And it's like when certain people say certain things, you gotta hear it and it gotta be conducive to their brain and they gotta know that, okay, this is what's supposed to be going on. Like you say, they need to hear somebody else say it. That shouldn't be it though. It's like if your father says something, you need to grasp on to what your father's saying and do it. If your mother says something, you need to grasp on that and do it.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you say, and it's like that with relationships. Sometimes it's we have a female in the building. That's more of a woman trait, though. Believe it or not, that's more of a woman trait. It's like the man you with, he say something, you supposed to do it. But the woman, she ain't hear that shit.
It goes both.
It goes both ways, but it's a woman trait. It's kind of like jealousy. Jealousy is a woman trait also, but men get jealous. But it's a woman's trait. It's a woman's trait. Like a lot of stuff is a woman trait. And you gotta understand what a woman trait is, and then if you're a man, if you want to be more manly, you gotta cut off certain womanly traits.
But you
Like you were
but you
saying
can't.
earlier,
Yeah.
a single mother is gonna raise a more feminine boy, and that's true.
Yeah, man. And I'm gonna say this, and this really kind
They
of
come together. They kind
my last thoughts on it. Like a lot of times when it comes to this, like parenting shit kind of mirror culture sometimes.
Right.
Like a lot of times I was in the gym or I'm at practice and the coach will motivate you or push you to do an extra rep that you for some reason think you physically can't do. And they'll be like, nah, you got one more. And then that one more might turn into 8 more.
of.
And you push yourself further than you think. And a lot of times, you know, what this individual was saying, that's what he's saying with his kids. Like, yo, I'm going to push them to do other stuff than just stay at home because I didn't have that because I just sit around the house all the time. So I'm not going to let my kids just sit around the house. So whether and on this unclear, it doesn't have to be sports.
Anything.
It could be band.
Yeah,
it could be choir.
Yes.
It could be Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Boys Club, Men's Club. It could be academic clubs like the debate team, chess team, whatever. But like to try to motivate your kids to be in other stuff and have other, you know, engagements and stuff like that. I think that is something that a lot of parents should try to do for their kids instead of just letting them just come home and just do nothing all the time.
But that
You know what
starts
I mean?
early too. That starts with involvement early on. Sometimes you don't know what to pursue with your children because, to be honest with y'all, some of y'all will be real busy and you don't spend that quality time with the little ones. And if you're busy
Facts.
to a point and you don't know, like there's what's the little stuff that the Paw Patrol thing coming to town, and my baby might actually want to go see Paw Patrol, but I just want I want him to go run around and play with his toys. Like, take the baby to the little show. You'd be surprised the more you spend more time with them and you understand them, your conversations are better. I feel like as adults, we can honestly say when we were kids, we didn't always feel like our adults around us heard what we were saying. We have opportunity with our kids to listen to what they're saying. That don't mean they right. But I'm learning, by being around my god babies and just listen. They talk about how they. I'm listening to how they talk to each other. They know how to express how they feel. So I feel like, yes, you want your kids to be in all the sports. You want them to do the things, but engage with them. Sometimes there's things out there, like you said, it don't have to be sports. Maybe your child like chess. Maybe your child is good with them little Rubik's cubes. You see them little nerdy kids. Mm-hmm. Somebody kid like something. You know what I'm saying?
Put them in that Lego tournament.
I feel like I look at it like they should be doing both. And we in the USA the best. The USA is the best country ever. So why can't it be free? So why can't the after school programs they have athletics for? Because I'm looking at the physical health benefit in one, and then the academic one. Why can't they do both? Two for the free ski. They got to go to school, right? So why not help the parents out so they can make the money to pay for everything? Have like what is it? ED? What is it? Education development or something like that, and the learning. Do both, like after school programs. So hold the kids to 6. Why not?
Right. Man, that's the beautiful thing. You could do it all, man. Like Johnny Walker, man. And a lot of people say raising kids, you're gonna have a lot of tears of joy and a lot of tears of sadness, man. Moving on to TNT.
Dynamite.
All right, so with the first TNT of the night,
tears or no tears,
we have a Deasia Lexis Williams who, unfortunately was arrested in the CSRA this week because she left a gun in the car with her kids, and it was reported. Apparently, she had a prior incident where a gun went off at her. I think it was a home, Rose. A
hotel room.
A hotel, my bad. A hotel room. And her kids was involved again.
She was shot in the leg.
And she was shot in the leg, my bad. What's your thoughts on this, Rose?
Man, I ain't got no tears for this whole man, but and it makes it. But I have tears because the 10-year-old died today.
Oh wow!
He died today, and the person that killed him was his 4-year-old sibling. On accident, yes. If people say, "Oh,
be more careful,"
it's like, "Oh yeah, it was an accident." Yes, she had the gun in her purse, but you don't need to be around guns. You was already around guns. You got into it, and you got shot in the leg, and you had kids around. People like, man, I ain't got no tears for it, man, because this is crazy. Because this is why some people don't need to have guns, and that's and when people talk about gun reform and anything, I'm always like, yeah, people don't need to have guns because I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people don't
Because
need.
I shoot you in the face.
I can't have a gun
shoot
or a
you-
knife.
I shoot you in your face. If I had it,
So
Can't have a gun or a knife.
So I got tears, and I guess my question would be, my first question would be, I would want to know, is it public knowledge, was the guns legal that she had? Like, was those guns
They
that
probably was legal.
was actually registered in her name, especially after that first incident with the gun going off in the hotel room and her kids being left in the hotel room? And then two, okay, cool. So the guns were legal. Man, you know, people be having kids, and we talk about this all the time on the pod. There's so many people having kids, and they're not really ready to be parents because there's just certain things you have to do. We talked in the first topic about trying to raise your kids and be hands-on, be hands-off. At some point in time, you can't have a laissez-faire attitude where you just all the way hands-off. Like, you got to be a present parent, man, and you know, hopefully, though, you know, the kids that have survived that are still alive can be in an environment where they can have a chance to be productive citizens and grow up to be, you know, good individuals.
I don't fuck with that 4-year-old because they're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm sad. I wish I would know my brother more."
killed your brother, your older brother. Like it's like, oh,
And it's like they're not gonna charge that kid for that. That's gonna be some shit like you grow up later on and like, what happened? He died, and then at the fun barbecue one day, everybody getting drunk. Yeah, that way you fucked around and killed your brother. Man, what? It's coming. Oh, it's coming.
So the Justice Department just released that the Southern Poverty Law Center, there was, you know, basically they put out that they had ties to the Aryan Nation, KKK, Ku Klux Klan, and a lot of other racist organizations in terms of they was funneling money to basically support those. But then people who actually did the research in the paperwork and saw that no, they was not funneling money to support those organizations. What they was doing was they had double agents that they gave money to, and then to allow them to basically infiltrate these agencies so they could take them down from the inside out. Unfortunately, because of the way they had to wire the money to them, technically that's illegal because of how they was doing that, and that's what they're going to get on. But the DOJ is trying to paint it as the Southern Poverty is basically funding some of these illegal organizations. What's your thoughts on this, Rose?
I got tears because basically what the DOJ is doing and the Trump administration is doing is trying to take this organization down because they're taking down their people. So yes, they were paying informants, but the way they were paying the informants it's not illegal, but they have been doing this for years. But the Trump administration is like, oh, we're going to take you down because those are our people, those are our brothers, those are our Aryan brothers, and you are harm to them, so you harm to us. And at first, when I seen it, because when you see the story before people start reading the paperwork, it's like, oh yeah, oh I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they did this. But once you take a deep dive into it, they didn't do anything wrong other than the same thing the police do.
Yeah, man. I echo those same thoughts. I got tears that the DOJ is trying to misrepresent what's going on here, because when I first saw the article, I was kind of shocked because I was like, hold up, ain't the Southern Poverty, you know, ain't they supposed to be on our side? Don't they fight for Black people rights and minority rights? And then when you sent the video with the young lady who did the deep dive into the actual paperwork, I was relieved actually, and I was like, okay, cool. That makes more sense, and that just shows, without me going on a tangent, that just shows what this administration has been about both times. A lot of misinformation they get dispersed to the public, and
that's the news though. That's the purpose. That's the reason why we have news.
But under this administration, The news ain't been what the news supposed to be. The news is supposed to try to tell the people the truth. But unfortunately, under this administration, under Trump's administration, both times, it seems like the news is starting to become like Jersey Shore and these reality TV shows.
Exactly. And it's been like that since, I take it back to World War I. It's in your social studies book. Have you forgot, sir? Propaganda. It's been like that. Ain't nothing changed. The news ain't for us. The news. Certain books you read, they tell you don't even look at the news. Don't turn the news on. It's not healthy. It's not beneficial to your core. It's nothing. It's junk. It's soap operas. It's lies. Told the people to sway them a different way, kind of like certain pastors and preachers.
But it's not lies when they also, it's like they might sprinkle in some things, but I don't think it's lies because
lots of times the whole truth.
Lots of times it be stuff that happened,
but they're not telling the truth behind what the reason was it's happening.
Yeah, in certain situations, yeah.
It's classified. It's G16 classified and way beyond our pay grade, so we don't know.
Talking about classified, so Ashley Gonzalez, who has made headlines recently, she got dismissed from her position as a police officer for the Houston department because she went on a live rant where she said she hates niggas, she can't stand black people, they're disgusting, and she just basically ranted on so-and-so about her disdain for black people and how they're a bane on society. I got tears because stuff like this makes law enforcement look very bad. And I don't want to be the person to say that not all cops feel this way, not all people in law enforcement feel this way. There's a lot of people that, I'm making this very clear. There's some people, it's just a job.
She black or white?
Hispanic. There's some people, it's just a job. They go to work, they get their paycheck. There's some people, and I've met a few of them, they truly just want to change the world. And then there's some people that they up to mischievous shit. This is some shit this shit right here that makes the public community distrust law enforcement, because it's like if you're giving those type of people authority over other people and they have these preconceived notions and they're racist and they're prejudiced, how can I feel like when they pull me over or they detain me, I will get justice and not be mistreated just because I'm black? So I'm happy that they dismissed her. And to be honest, they really need to just do a deeper dive in a lot of these departments across the whole country, because it's not just her. It's a lot of people who are racist to different communities that, carry a badge.
I'm one of them. That's why I can't be a cop. If I was a cop, I'd be rich one. And I'm going to do to the white folks the way they do to black folks. So guess what? I pull you over. Why you pull me over? Because you're white.
No.
Here's your ticket, bitch. Off top. I'm doing it. It's going down.
Yeah, it's a difference because everybody do that, but it's a difference because people don't have issues with that because you gonna have to deal with that. But when you go on your social media and be like, "Oh, it felt so good to call that nigger a nigger," it felt so good. Oh my goodness, it's like it was the best feeling in the world. It's like
crackety cracker.
No, and it's like you said, these Hispanic, they what you say?
They white now.
They think they're white,
but now they white.
You say they black.
No black, Poppy. No black.
It's crazy.
No
man.
black. No black.
Before we move on, it's crazy, man. I had this conversation with MGH. I don't care if it's Asians, Indians, Arabs, Hispanic. It seems like all these races can't stand niggas. It seems like all of them can't stand niggas. So that's sad, man.
Must be doing something right.
Yeah. So there was this man who was buying pasta boxes and returning them and he was buying Lego boxes and returning them and putting pasta in those boxes. And then people was buying the boxes trying to expect to play with Legos and seeing pasta pieces. I got tears of laughter. This is funny. First of all, sir, what are you doing with the Lego pieces? Is this like the little shows where you building these elaborate Lego mansions or whatever?
Right.
So like, cool, can we see what you have built? And then two, I'm not gonna lie, the people who bought the boxes, did y'all eat the pasta?
No, they didn't.
They threw that shit back. Like, what the fuck you gave me, bitch?
Yeah. So
And they getting accused of stealing. Like, you stole the goddamn Legos. Nah, bitch, I got pasta this motherfucker. You better goddamn get my money back. No, where the Legos at? It's a whole kabaku.
Little Johnny want to play with Legos. Hey, little Johnny, ain't no Legos in this box. But you know what? We're going to have pasta for dinner tonight.
this ambassador juice, man. You know how we some Christmas is like we go to the Christmas tree and no gifts today. There's one bike. Then just imagine you go to it's one box of Legos and we open the box of Legos.
Always pissed with the Legos. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, this is bullshit.
It's one box of Legos. We gotta share the Legos. We open the box of Legos.
And it's pasta. Oh, I'm losing my shit, bro.
And you tell your mom, it's pasta where the Legos at. Oh, I don't know what happened, but you know what? Hey, thank you for giving me dinner tonight.
I gotta ask Santa Claus.
So they gonna cook the Legos. They gonna cook the Legos.
They gonna cook the pasta. They gonna cook the pasta so I can eat tonight.
Oh no!
Bullshit!
Oh
you
no!
You can't put Legos in your stomach. Be happy you got this.
Oh
hey,
no!
God didn't give you what you wanted. God gave what you needed.
What?
Oh no!
That
Bible is reading right now.
Hey, talk about getting what you need, man. Shout out to the Crawford siblings. It's 3 of them. They are alumni of Spelman and Morehouse, and they have donated $2 million, $1 million each to Spelman and Morehouse. I got tears of joy, man, because we talked on the podcast ever since we started the podcast when Dion left Jackson State, and he basically gave the numbers about how much black people give back to HBCUs compared to a lot of white people give back to their universities. This is needed, man. It's needed for us to give back to these black universities, these black colleges, because that's how they're able to fund themselves and be able to do more stuff for the kids who go to these universities, man. So it's dope that these siblings who graduated from HBCUs and have the money and are financially able to decided to, hey, let's donate back to these universities because the people coming behind us, they need it.
Yeah, man. I got tears of joy too because it's, and I can have tears of happiness too because it's like that was amazing how they did that. And then when Atlanta dropped the story, they didn't even tell their name. They just said these 3 siblings. No, say their name. Say their name because that's amazing things that they did. And Morehouse is going through a lot of things right now, and they've been going through a lot of things financially for a long time. Clark, every black girl that watch A Different World wanted to go to Clark, you know what I'm saying? But still, they still going through things, financial things today too. But I got tears of joy, man. I got tears of joy. And also it's like when you go down, if you go to Atlanta, and if you've never been to Atlanta, like their campuses are right next door, like
4 corners.
It's like, so it's like, and then you can go right downtown Atlanta, and you can see their campuses, and it's like go down there and visit because anybody can go down and walk around soon. So I suggest everybody go down and visit if you haven't been.
Hey, moving on, what's wrong with these hoes?
What's wrong with them?
So we're going to talk about dating. So there was one woman who basically got online and ranted about she was upset because a man approached her at work and said she was beautiful and tried to compliment her. And she said, what about me working is beautiful? What about working is attractive? What about me working is attractive to you? Why you approach me and I'm at work? Like, there ain't nothing good about me working.
Dang.
Yeah, and then there was another woman who basically said she feels like her man is supposed to provide and she's not supposed to work. And she said her man currently got 2 to 3 jobs. And she said if my man needed to, I feel like a man, if he needs to provide so his woman don't work, if he got to get 7 jobs, then he need to go and get 7 jobs then, so to make sure his woman can't work and have all the stuff that she need and want. What's wrong with these hoes, y'all?
I don't know what's wrong with them, man, because what do you mean they can't approach you at work? What look attractive at you at work? You at work, ho? That's what look attractive, because both these hoes don't work.
Reach.
You're a unicorn because you at work.
That makes you attractive, like, oh, you a hustler. That's what men want to see. They want hustlers. They don't want to see They don't want the bottom feeders. They want a person that's gonna hustle with them. What do you mean? What makes me attractive when you see me at work? You at work, ho. That's what makes you attractive. You can be the ugliest person at the job, but somebody go holler at you because you at work, ho. That makes you attractive because you working.
You know what's crazy? I was thinking the same thing.
Now you starting to get it, Mr. Lotto.
What happened?
Now you starting to get it.
What happened to women want to be hustlers? Because it just seemed like back in the day, women wanted to hustle. They wanted to bring something to the table. Like regardless if it was legal enterprises or illegal enterprises, they wanted to contribute to whatever was going on. Like it just seemed like hoes want to just be at home and just kick their feet up, like it's 1955.
The feet or the legs?
Their legs.
I guess sometimes it's the city because I'd be amazed. Like when I go to my favorite club. What's my favorite club, fellas?
I hope it's pinups. That's mine.
Nigga, it ain't the name. It's the goddamn booty club. When I go to my favorite club,
the strip club,
it's amazing how I'm talking to a hustler. She a hustler. She's a teacher at day. You know what I'm saying? A teacher at day. A mother in the afternoon, and a goddamn exotic dancer at night. I'm like, goddamn, superwoman.
Midnight ballerina. But
yeah,
that was line.
Yeah, just get into goddamn Miss Atlanta one year. I'm like, this some amazing shit. You know what I'm saying? And you just being so feminine and just, oh yeah. But like I say, it's all a dream, it's all a facade. But it's like you say, the female hustler, man. It's nothing more beautiful than a female that's getting that bread. And it makes it even better when she breaks the bread with you. It's a beautiful thing.
And that's why it's crazy with the other hoe who talking about my man gotta have 7 jobs. Fellas, y'all really gotta be paying attention who y'all with, man, because a bitch who really, really fuck with you and really want to be with you and cares about your well-being would not want you to work no 7 goddamn jobs. Like the fact that came out her fucking mouth, oh, okay, so you just a prostitute then. Like that's all you is. You just a prostitute.
But you can't use that word though.
Why not?
You can't use that word. So she's something else other than what you said. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
My bad. Okay, you just a paid girlfriend.
So escort?
Yes. That's what you is, because if you really rock over a nigga, you're not gonna want to see him breaking his spirit and body to the point where he has nothing left for himself and you.
And the bad part about it is you're not the only one, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not the only one.
Exactly.
You probably got 5 or 6 other dudes doing the same thing for her.
So why we can't call her a prostitute?
Because you can't use that word. It's not politically correct. We have to come up with a word that is like, okay, we can't use that word, but this is what you are because you're doing these type things. It's like a woman can have tricks, but she's not a prostitute. Like, bitch, what? I'm not a prostitute because I got 6 niggas that work 7 jobs.
You're a professional lover.
Yeah, we got to get Juice Man a whole nother segment where Dr. Juice Man can tell his hoes to preach to his hoes that they not prostitutes. Nah, ho, you a prostitute.
Yes. Let's call you what you is. Moving on to
just because it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, they can still be a swan.
It might be a goose. I thought I got tapped by a goose the other day when I was in Florida. I thought it was a duck too. Until I had to duck. And I was like, hold on.
Goddamn.
Hey, so moving on to the final topic. A lot of these hoes, the way they be talking, bro, they be talking like they hot, dog. So Atlanta did a pop-up recently, a marijuana and drug pop-up where they had gummies, they had weed and stuff like that. They promoted it, and there was a whole bunch of people there. And the police raided it.
Oh, shit.
The police raided it, and several people got arrested, and a whole bunch of other people ran out. And
that's all good. It was under the ounce.
And last time I checked, it was 40 people in the several.
Yeah, it was 40 people. And so, like, basically, people was talking about how people in Atlanta got too comfortable with this. What's your thoughts of this pop-up raid?
I think it's a good thing. Because it wasn't illegal. I mean, it wasn't legal, but they felt comfortable enough to do it. It's just the fact that The police seen that they advertise it too.
Yeah,
like,
they seen it on Instagram.
They advertise it too. Like, shout out to Speedy or Spody, whatever his name was.
You pulling up?
Yeah, we pulling up.
Yeah.
We pulling up. We see you ain't got no permits. They ran the whole warehouse to sell some dope. and thought it was okay.
And put it online.
And put it online. Advertise it. Like, you remember the world famous 8 Rows?
Yeah.
They was in Augusta last week. They in Statesboro this weekend. We got the world famous chronic.
Yeah.
We got the world famous edibles.
You ain't never been this high before.
You ain't never been this high, folks. Twin. Come check us out.
And the police said, "You right, twin. Y'all ain't never been this high to put it online. We gonna show up. Don't worry. We got bracelets for y'all.
Pulling right the fuck up.
We got rooms for y'all too.
Hey, overnight stays.
Yeah, overnight stays. We gonna
Like,
feed you.
no-
We gonna feed you.
No charge, but you got to pay later.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? What Zip or Quiet Pay? What Klarna? What they do?
Yeah, I thought it was
Layaway.
I thought it was very hilarious because yes, they do this in LA, but it's legal there. It's not legal in Georgia yet. So it was just very kind of just braggadocious that they felt like they could do this in these white people's face, even though it was like a black sheriff or black person in charge who basically, was at the press conference and podium talking. But the fact you felt like you could do this in a red state with a white governor and you thought it was gonna be cool, it did make me think about a conversation we had before, fellas, about the legalization and decriminalization of drugs. Juice Man and Rose, like, do y'all feel like we should just get to the point in 2026 where we should legalize and decriminalize a lot of these drugs?
Yes, they definitely should, so they can get rid of some of this fentanyl laced stuff that's got these people going crazy and falling out. But I think because if it's just because last time I checked, hydrocodone was legal.
Yes.
If you got a prescription.
That's right. Come on.
So if you need it, I feel like it should be able for you to get it, but somebody should be able to prescribe it to you.
So you more on the medical side of the marijuana.
Yes. But if it's legal, I think like especially like with coke and all the stuff.
Weed,
man,
I ain't gonna lie, man.
It's got to be somebody got to be checking it, man.
I ain't gonna lie. Some people ain't gonna like this. Man, legalize all that shit, man.
Somebody got to be checking that stuff.
Coke, heroin, legalize all that shit. Let the government,
get their
taxes. And like Rose just said, that way the government can know, and I'm doing heroin. What's in my heroin? What's in my coke?
Mm-hmm.
What's in my weed?
It would be safer, like
we just need to do all that because also, and I think people don't understand how big America is. And you probably, I think, some of us got to grasp it because some of y'all been traveling, especially you be in the military. But like when you look at like places like Europe and America, like we are a big ass country with 50 states that all have sovereignty. Compared to when you go to like Europe, like some of these European countries are the sizes of some of our states. Like, yo, bruh, it's just too much. So you telling me I'm in Georgia, I can't get high, but then I travel to Vegas or LA, I can get high all I want. But then I go to New York, I can't have a gun on my hip because I'm gonna do 15 years because I got a gun. But then I go somewhere where guns is legal. Like, nah, bro, we can't. All this shit is too confusing. A lot of us in this country barely got like good comprehension skills. Like, so when it comes to drugs, let's just a lot of these people in this country. When you look at our educational ranking in the world, we middle of the pack. We middle of the pack.
I want to say bottom.
We might be at the bottom now. Last time I checked, it was middle of the pack. Like, we not as bright as we used to be. We do not need to have all these different rules for laws. I remember we went to New Orleans a couple years ago. Man, I'm walking around New Orleans, and it's a nigga posted up on the corner, and he said, "I got gas for sale." I said, "Huh? What?" He said, I got gas to sell, and it's a cop 5 feet from me. And I'm like, is it legal in New Orleans? I thought weed was illegal. And then D Will looked, and I don't think that's it, but I guess they just not enforcing that shit like that. Like this shit do get really
laid back. It's laid back.
And that's the reason why these people in Atlanta felt so comfortable with the pop-up. Because even in Georgia, they've gone so lax with pushing the laws where they've allowed people to like have weed and not really arrest them as much as they used to. Like I know people who be like, yeah, I got caught with this and they just gave me a ticket.
Yeah, it's a ticket.
You know, so to the point,
ounces a ticket.
To the point where people just feel so comfortable that they think they can go online in fucking Georgia, that's a red fucking state.
Well, it might be medical too, because if I go to my doctor and be like, I need weed, I can get weed, and I can be, you know what I'm saying.
And then you have that in some states where okay, it's not completely legal, but then you have it legal for medical uses. But you know, before I give it to you, Juice Man, like you talked about this, I want to say the week after the Super Bowl, 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, when one of our friends was trying to get some weed, and you advised them to go to one of the dispensaries in the city. And I was like, they sell weed in this dispensary? And you was like, yeah, technically they're not supposed to, man. But you know, bro, it's so hard to really regulate that shit that they be really getting over like that. And then Rose took me to Wings to Go. He took me to Wings to Go.
Yeah,
I got my food, and I said, well, let me go over here. I want to see what they got over here. We went to the dispensary. We was in there like 3 minutes, Rose. Nigga, we almost got high just standing in there. We walked out. I was like, oh, this guy, that gotta be the real stuff they selling, nigga. That shit don't smell like it's not real. That shit smell too potent to not be real.
That's why they changed the law. Because it's like the and I ain't gonna say it's fake weed, but it's the lower concentrated THC weed or CBD smells just like the other stuff. It's like, and it's like,
gotcha.
So it's like, I don't really know. So it's like, for me, I would love for drugs to be legal, but somebody got to orchestrate it and say, yes, this person can do this though. You dying. Yeah, you can smoke some crack. You can smoke some meth. You can snort some meth. You dying. Yeah. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna subscribe this to you. I'm gonna subscribe you 2 lines, and when you die, that's on you.
And I agree with that, bro. Like, hey man, if you don't know how to control your habit to the point where you smoke so much crack or stick that needle in your arm that you just die, hey man, it is what it is. There's gonna be some casualties whenever we start transitioning society. When you look at it
already, you gotta think the government brings this shit on already, because I don't know no black folks that own boats and planes. Like, the government brings that shit in already, bro. It's underground money, but it's time to just
shout out to Frank Lucas.
Money. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Ross.
Building, man. Final thoughts, everyone.
Live long and prosper. I love y'all.
Yeah, my final thoughts is like the deadline for voter registration was, I want to say 4/20. That's a crazy number that it probably was, but I think the deadline for registration was 4/20. But early voting starts not October. I'm sorry, y'all, but April 27th. Early voting starts April 27th. There's a lot of seats. There's a lot of judges seats. There's a lot of mayor seats. There's a lot of things that people need to be out here voting for. I always preach people need to vote, but people look at me like, I don't need to vote. I don't need to vote. But people always look at me like I'm crazy when I'm preaching this voting stuff. The mayor seats are not the mayor, but the governor seats are coming up. Like the Republican governor seats are coming up. The Democrat seats are coming up. Like these local elections are coming up. Like we need to be out here in these streets voting. Like I vote in every election in my city, and it's like people like, I ask people, did you vote? Oh no, I can't do it. I couldn't do it. This is a lot of people have excuses for not voting, but this is the season. This is this season to be seasoned. We need to get out here and make sure that everybody your family members. It's too late if they didn't register. But we need to be out here making sure our family members are voting, and we need we can't tell everybody who to vote for, and I will never tell anybody who to vote for. But we need you to go out there and vote just because our ancestors died for this. Our ancestors died for this and got punished for this and all kinds of other things. Like, so I don't care who you vote for, just go out there and vote.
It wasn't that long ago.
Hey man, speaking of voting, man, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at our award from the IHA that, you know, you the listeners, the fans voted for us to be the best podcast in the CSRA, and I'm very appreciative of that. With that being said, you know, I look at that award and I think about why this podcast came to be and how it started with me, Rose, and C's. And, you know, I just have to say, you know, as of this moment, the podcast will not be the same. Because going forward, it won't be no C's no more. You know, and for reasons, you know, that he has going on, the podcast will just be me and Rose primarily, and we'll have our guests like Nicole and Juice Man whenever he's in town. And, you know, I appreciate the 200 plus episodes we have together as a trio. Because, you know, when we started the podcast, we didn't think that it would get to the point that it's at now. We didn't think we would win awards. We didn't think we would get the views we have. We didn't think we would have some of the episodes we have with some of the banter and conversations. And, you know, I want to thank C's for his contribution to the pod, because for those who don't know, like, he's the one who does most of the production for the pod. And so, like, he's helped put the pod up there. But as far as, like, just being on the mic, like, he's always brought an outside world view. He's always brought the intelligence to the pod in terms of understanding what's going on in different parts of the world and different parts of society. And he's always given us the history that we needed sometimes on a lot of episodes. And I would greatly miss that on the pod. In the words of Airbnb and Rakim, peace.
Man, please catch the next light, man. We in traffic, and I'm back quiet. Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap a seatbelt, go and sell our land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.